Brockhampton
This is a gays only event. Go home.
is the greatest boy band of all time. The group was created in 2012 under the name Alive Since Forever, until 2014 when they rebranded into what we know today, Brockhampton. Throughout high school, their music heavily resonated with me, Saturation 2 and 3 being two of my favorite albums of all time. But it wasn't just their music, it was their personality. 13 members from all over the country, all unique in their own ways, connected via the internet by one common interest, music. And that's a lot of people. Way too many fucking people. So let's just treat them all as one big entity. As long as we don't talk about that. The Family is Brockhampton's final album. As long as we don't talk about that one. But this one's different from all the rest. Only 2 members had any involvement with the project. Kieran, FKA Bareface, and the de facto leader of the group, Kevin Abstract. It's not a showcase of different talents blending together to form one strong identity, so much as a deeply intimate letter to a family that's already gone their separate ways. And I think that's what makes this project something special. It may not musically be their best work, but what it represents is something bigger than music. Kevin said it himself in the teaser leading up to the album.
It's not a solo thing, it's a group album. It's about the group.
This is a group album. This is what the group was at the time. One man trying to hold together the pieces of something falling apart, barely even for his own sake, but for that of the fans that called this band a family. Kevin talks about Brockhampton throughout its entire lifespan, from its beginning to its end. The final song, the band's self-titled track, emphasizes this the most, as Kevin goes through every era of the band and lays out every controversy we saw play out in real time, alongside issues that we never saw publicly. The album ends with Kevin praising each vocalist for their part in the group, almost sending them off to thrive on their solo endeavors, before he turns to us and tells us to get out of our seats, because the show's over. I think it's hard to rank this album in their discography because of how different it is in comparison to all the others. Actually, all of them were pretty different. Very different. Roadrunner's probably their most mature body of work, a therapy session multiple members cite as a moment of healing, and could have been their most experimental if not for Iridescence, the first album post Amir being removed from the band. Almost akin to the angsty teen sibling of the bunch, it's the end result of Brockhampton shuffling through different scrapped projects and ideas, trying to collect themselves after taking such a devastating loss and blow to their identity. Then there's Ginger, a more emotional side of the band that wasn't really thoroughly explored throughout an entire project up until this point. And we can't forget Technical Difficulties, an unofficial project of songs created and aired during lockdown, which saw the band returning to its roots and making something more fun, pure, authentic. But I know you saw the thumbnail, so yes, I'm gonna talk about Saturation 1, 2, and 3, all released within 6 months. Not really a rare occurrence in today's musical landscape, but definitely an astronomical one for all of them to be nearly perfect. I remember jumping on board during Saturation 2, my introduction to the band being Junkie, and immediately I was all in. Merlin's fun, infectious energy, Matt's calm and cunning delivery while dismantling men who abuse women, and Kevin, we get it, you're gay.
He gave me good head, peeping out while the windows tinted.
What?
The lead up to Saturation 3, the theories of if the last song would be 7 or 4 letters, trying to piece together the narrative after the release of Billy Starr, which was also the first time that we got to hear to a lot of people, this is when the band peaked, and to be honest, I agree, but that's also a very disingenuous take that doesn't really look at the whole scope of what Brockhampton was. I mean, we already established just how different every album and era was, and all that was in such a short period of time. It was 5 years of this band being in the spotlight, losing a member at the height of their career at the time, coming back with a hit single like Nothing Happened, then going through more problems behind the scenes in their own personal lives. The Light might have been the biggest indicator that the band's days were numbered. The song only features Kevin and Joba, but it's one of their heaviest songs ever made, as Kevin details his struggles with his familial relationships, and Joba raps about his father taking his own life. As the group progressed, everything just got sadder and darker. A group that once had so much youth and charm grew up, and as the audience grew up with them, they just decided to call it. They entered the industry abrasive, ready to take over, and by the end of it, that same industry wore them out and left them out to dry. And I guess that's the... These guys were supposed to fail at every turn, but they didn't. They did pretty much everything they weren't supposed to, embracing the title of a boy band, oversaturating the industry with their sound, and being themselves unapologetically. Yes, including all the times Kevin rapped about being gay. When I originally came up with the idea for this video, I didn't really know where to go with it. I mean, what do you talk about? There were so many eras vastly different from each other, multiple controversies, 13 solo careers, all great in their own ways, but I think it's important to remember the end just as fondly as we remember the start. Brockhampton was always one of the biggest what-ifs in music for me. And I'm sure that's a sentiment that you've heard before, but having grown up, having lived a life where I've been forced to let go and move on past people that I love deeply, times that I've held on to and reminisced on for so long, I don't see it that way anymore. I see it as a collective that had something to say, something to share, something to give to all of us as their fans, almost like a family. And they did that until there was nothing left. I feel nostalgia for the moments that I discovered the group, the times I waited for every album, when I wouldn't shut up talking about them to my friends, or every time I made a YouTube video.
Alright, let's get something straight. When you come in, first thing you gotta do is know that Brockhampton is the best boy band alive.
Brockhampton is one of the most important and influential things in my life. And it really formed, oh my god, am I about to cry? What the fuck is happening? It's something that formed me as a person today. The music that I listen to, the type of person that I am, and that's something that I will always hold dear to my heart. It was a good time. It was an amazing time. But sometimes good things come to an end. I'm done. Fuck off, bro. Get me out of this video, man.